Hey guys, guess what?
What?
I have chili.
Holy shit! You're just 2 weeks.
Hell yeah.
3.
Fucking 2 weeks late.
Yeah, two.
Mr.
2
Internet
entire
Explorer over here.
What did you do about the burger spice?
I didn't. Although next time I am going to get myself some.
Oh, okay.
I mentioned it to my mom and she was like, "What? That sounds really good." So she's probably going to order some.
Cool.
Nice.
So next time, yeah, we'll do the what is it called? Damn good burger spice.
Yeah, damn good burger spice.
You have to send me some. They're good.
I just made a rub and let it marinate for a few hours.
Yeah, I'll just have some barbecue thing-ish spice. I just threw in.
Yeah, next time we'll make full racks of ribs and we'll all smoke them on our smokers that we all have.
Yes.
We all need to pick up that new Halo cookbook.
Yeah.
I saw that.
Free freaking content for 10th episodes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Free content, baby.
And maybe.
Yeah, I'm curious if they have they're on Bungie.org, like the fan site. Someone posted some kind of official, which the Bungie community on Halo.Bungie.org endorsed back in early 2000s. There were two smoothies or something, and one was a grunt smoothie, and I think the other one was a chief smoothie. I wonder if those are in the recipe book.
Fascinating.
But I imagine they probably won't be since it's 343, so I'm imagining their recipes are completely different. But it would still be interesting to see what they've got.
Was the grunt smoothie just gray?
Is it food nipple?
It wasn't made out of
I
grunt.
knew you
It
were
was just
gonna
supposed to be
say
grunt
that.
themed.
No.
The grunt smoothie's food nipple, but the publisher probably didn't want them to call it that. That's hilarious. That is what that is. That's got to be what that is.
Dear God.
Now, but that doesn't stop us though. We're still gonna make food nipple, we all guess what food nipple is. Yeah. And we don't talk about it ahead of time, and we just come to the podcast with what
Just
we
bring
think
our
food
food
nipple is.
nipple.
I think I'm gonna.
Yeah.
I think I'm gonna
Martini.
liquidate the company before that happens. I'm just gonna cancel.
Well, the food
whole-
nipple's gonna be liquidated before that.
Oh my goodness,
Fucking
Noah.
grunt.
Okay, I just want to say, look at these potato chunks.
Big potato.
Look at the frickin' size of it. Glasses
God
lens for
damn.
reference.
I don't think you cut them.
Oh,
enough,
yeah.
honey.
I cut
I
them
suppose you
so
could
they'd
do
be
them as
giant.
much as you want. I mean, because how long did you actually have yours in the pot for?
My potatoes were in the pot for 2 hours. The whole
Oh, yeah.
thing took me 4 hours. A little over 4 hours.
That whole thing must be super soft.
Okay. Interesting. Yeah, because in
Yeah.
my case, I think I browned the mince and the onion, and then I threw the vegetables in afterwards. And the
Yeah.
halfway point was just the beans and the spices,
Well, I
and
sort of went according
the
to
second half of the sauce.
I went according to Steve's Apple Notes screenshot a recipe version, which was he browns the meat and the onions together.
I followed
And,
the fucking. I followed the PDF you made.
Thank you. I'm glad someone used it. I sort of went the way that Steve outlined, though, and that served me pretty well. Although I didn't have an onion, and so for the listeners at home, I got COVID. Woo! And so that's why my voice still sounds like shit. Not as bad as it has been, but it still doesn't sound very good. I still sound kind of congested, and so. I got COVID and couldn't go to the store and get absolutely everything I needed. So luckily, I was able to take some canned tomatoes and puree them to make tomato sauce. And I used onion powder instead of onions, which makes me sad because I like big, raw white onions. But I think for the amount of time that they cooked down in this recipe, which is from the very beginning, pretty sure you wouldn't even have them texture-wise. So it's kind of more of a taste thing. Anyway, so I didn't have onions. Other than that, though, I was pretty well covered. I didn't wind up having any fat to scrape off, though, because I had 93% lean meat. So there was no fat there to collect at the top. So didn't get that step, but it's really quite good. I definitely would probably go less cayenne pepper because it's overpowering a little bit. Not that I mind the spiciness, but
You said after you took your first bite that it was great because you like.
I mean, I like
stuff.
it that way. It's just that for the sake of sharing it with others, I figure other people probably wouldn't like it this way. So I could just add my own spice in my own bowl. It could, this is a sharing meal in its inception and in its spirit, being Dad's chili and then Master Chief's chili ostensibly. So it is a meal meant for sharing. So you have to make it
indeed
cross-person enjoyable. So I'm enjoying my chili.
Nice. I enjoyed it too. So what's for the next for episode 20?
The next meal?
One? Yeah.
I think we should do food nipple.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah. Yeah, let's do the
I think we have
mystery
to.
of the food nipple.
Alex is just
The
like,
other
what the fuck
option
am I
is
here? What are these idiots? What are these idiots doing?
Well, like what?
This is
what?
content.
Like what even fucking format would that be? Because the only thing I can think of, because haha nipple is like we just make milkshakes or something. But like,
Yeah, I'll give
like
you
are
a
you
hint.
thinking a drink or a food?
I'll give you a hint. My idea is to make something that is nutritious that you could drink through a straw, which could be really gross.
Nice.
That's my idea.
It's like one of those really disgusting Olympic athlete protein shake with fucking egg yolks and
Like the raw egg and shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say that.
It has to be warm.
I'm thinking something with something that has everything you need to survive, like an egg.
I mean,
yolk
I'll be
and
drinking this at like 6 in the
spinach.
morning, so I'm gonna make it delicious. I think.
What you should do is
If I given the choice.
get a hangover. It's probably going to be a good hangover cure.
Oh hell yeah!
I've never gotten drunk enough to have a hangover before, so
I
maybe
have
that'd be a
neither
good
have I.
first time to try it.
No, I haven't
Ooh,
either.
Are we
Thank
all
God, I don't.
non-drunkers?
I just don't drink.
Are we? Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Same.
I,
Well, I don't
Asking
see the
if
point
we-
of
Yeah.
drinking, like
to hurt
you know,
yourself.
I drink till you get buzzed, and then you stop until you're not buzzed, and then you drink to get yourself buzzed again. Why would you? I don't really see the point of going past that, where you're just you get blackout drunk or something, or just anything like that.
Because doing that is a lot cheaper than paying for a therapist every week.
True. There it is.
Well, yeah.
If I can
mean,
afford the
it's
drinks,
expensive
I
enough,
will try
right?
that.
My concept is, instead of coming off of the buzz, just maintain the buzz. Because if I come off the buzz, I don't want any more at that point.
Well,
Once I've already come down,
also maintain, but
Yeah,
I don't. There's no point trying to get more buzzed and then just making it fucking detrimental to yourself in the process.
Yep, I think so too. Otherwise, why would you even start? Yeah, I agree. I like.
If I can't
enjoy.
remember falling to my death in lockout 200 times, why even try? What's the point?
A typical drinking activity.
That is my least favorite map of all time, actually.
No, well, actually, no. The first time I got drunk, I was playing Halo 2 MCC on lockout, and I was still actually second highest on the scoreboard, but I had about 18 deaths from just severely misjudging my jumps.
That's
Nice.
Zacarra every single time she plays on that map.
Fair enough, honestly. Even when I'm sober, I fuck up a lot of jumps on that map.
The map shows up as lockout on the loading screen, and I just start throwing things and cussing wildly. I'm like, no, what the fuck? Why the fuck? It's the worst
I
map
found
in
this
Halo!
wonderful photograph from a birthday that I had in, I guess it would have been 2019. It was our first our first time spending one of my birthdays together.
Our
And,
first birthday.
Zacarra, the picture was of Zacarra on the couch at my apartment at school, and she was just pouting, and she had the hardest pout face ever, and she was just arms crossed on the couch, and there was an Xbox controller sitting there. I'm pretty sure there was some Halo shenanigans that went down, or
Yeah.
Minecraft possibly at that time.
That's
and
nice.
she was mad about it.
Wholesome.
No, I made my first martini the other day. I made a vodka martini with vermouth and an olive. I don't like olives typically, although as I'm getting older, like, you know, I'm trying to
You don't like
to grow
olives?
up a little
He's a
bit.
bad
I gotta
Greek
like
boy.
olives.
He's
You don't like
bad
the jazz
boy.
and the flavor?
Yeah, right. Well, the olives are just so fucking bitter. But I mean, like, honestly, olives are like a representation of my sense of humor, and so I probably should get along with them at some point.
I don't know, man. I like olives.
Oh no!
The burn.
Wow, roasted. Well, I mean, so it was good. I liked the martini a lot. I've never had one before. Got some nice aesthetic pictures in the sunset of it. Not of me, just of the drink. But I enjoy. Ever since I turned 21, I've liked, and I only started when I was 21. I'm not saying that for the purpose of the legal team at Pseudofusion, which is essentially the
Non-existent
entire
right now.
management. Yeah, management is the legal team. I like trying all manner of different drinks. I want to try everything.
Yeah.
At least once, and so I'm still making my rounds through the basics. Like, again, I just made my first martini, so I like to have a drink. I don't normally even drink more than once every couple of weeks or less. I mean, it's been months at a time, occasionally. But you know, I like to drink, just not a lot.
So welcome to the Not a Halo podcast, where we talk about
Hey,
alcohol.
Vern, you need to. There's a comment
Fuck
you
yeah.
need to respond to on the most recent upload. Somebody asked. It's actually our regular. Shout out to. I can't even pronounce it. BAJK.
I actually asked the person when I live streamed. It's actually bike. So
Bike.
for some reason, it's
Great.
kind of like the Swedish way of
Shout out to our top
That's
viewer,
cool.
Bike.
Yeah!
Thank you for watching.
Yay.
You're
Dang right.
awesome.
They commented asking at the timestamp where you said, "This is not a podcast." They asked, "Well, then what is it if it's not a podcast?" So you need to go. I told them, I was like, "Look, our Swedish brother works in mysterious ways. He's all-knowing. You might have to look deeper to find the answer to that one."
Yeah, I think you have to like work harder to get your answer. I'm not just gonna give it out. You know, I'm not gonna give out secrets like that easily. Like it takes more. So keep trying, but one day.
Just keep probing it.
Yeah. Try and figure it out.
Hashtag.
I fucking broke Zacarra apparently.
The car is on the floor now.
I want to see
think-
a session
I
where like
think-
Zacarra just edits the podcast.
I think you just need to try harder.
Yeah, just try harder.
Oh
Basically.
my god, that's amazing.
So yeah, that's my advice. So welcome back to the Not a Halo, where we talk
The what?
about Halo sometimes.
About podcast.
about podcast, where we don't say the P word. Penis. Or podcast. No, I have not been drinking.
I was gonna say it's funny that you all were just talking about alcohol.
Yeah. It's funny because I've never gotten drunk in my entire life.
You are the most likely candidate possibly to drink because you're at the right time of day.
I think I get drunk by life and just my
My
brain.
stomach
I get
hurts.
drunk.
I would
eyes
like
burn.
to, but I would actually just feel disgusted
hear that.
with myself because it's 6 in the morning. Actually, no. You know what? If I had beer, I'd drink it.
Hell yeah. Beer, 6 in
I've
the
got
morning.
Coronas sitting downstairs. I'll pass you one, Neil.
Hell
I was
yeah.
like, yeah, you have Corona.
Yeah.
I do have Corona.
Yes,
I
and?
should be. Oh shit! I should be drinking a. I mean, it's 11:29 a.m.
That's why you got
I
it.
Be drinking.
Shit.
Yeah, I should be drinking Corona with Corona. I didn't even think about that.
Wait, guys. Something I thought about, like in the beginning of Corona, like the first thing I thought about was like, I wonder what's gonna happen to the beer Corona. Like, are they gonna get a boost?
Are they
to
gonna
their
go out of
sales?
business?
Are they gonna go out of business? Like, I wonder something must have happened because
Well,
of
it
the name.
already
Maybe
tastes
it's
like piss water, so I don't know.
I
True.
saw
I
a
don't know how much
television
worse you
commercial
can
for
get
them
than
during the
that.
pandemic. I saw a newly produced television commercial for Corona during the pandemic, and so I have some meat in my throat. And so they're pushing it. You know,
That's what she said.
I
I'm
think
sorry.
they're just trying. They're trying to ride the high. I think. You know.
I'll take it back.
Today's just a giggle fest, I think.
Yeah.
Let's just
Episode
restart.
12, the one where we giggle too much.
Yes.
How the hell are we on episode 12?
Well,
What's happening?
we had
This was
episode
out of
11,
order.
and
We
then we had
recorded out of
episode
order.
10,
I missed
and then we
like
had
3
episode 9
episodes.
and
I don't
8,
know what's
7,
happening
6,
right now.
5, 4, 3, 2, and 1, and
Wow,
then we did
Zacarra can count backwards.
0.5.
That's amazing. You know
Is
why
this
she can
actually
count
the-
backwards? It's the only way she knows how to count, because she's dyslexic. Bitch.
Mood. I
Got
relate to
him.
that hard.
Uh,
Well, see, no, I'm like dyslexic. I can read fine. I just like I know what I'm trying to type, but like I end up just typing things in like the wrong order,
no,
even though I know how to spell them.
I can read.
So do I, but that's just
Yoda.
because my fingers don't work.
I can read
Yeah.
really fast. Like Noah can attest to this. I read super fast. If I'm just like reading to myself, I'll just like scan through paragraphs and I'll flip a page.
Very jealous of that.
10 seconds later, I'll
That's
just
great.
flip a
I
page.
used to be like that, and then I had to like do reading logs in high school, and it made me just fucking hate reading.
Yeah.
And then I didn't read for about 3.5 years, so my skill just completely like dropped.
Well, so
So you turn to
but,
video
like,
games.
If I have to read out loud, which is a problem when I'm doing like voiceover work or like recording any sort of like secret project stuff, it like if I have to read out loud, I just become a fucking potato, and I can't do it. But,
You
like,
are a
I
potato
can't-
normally.
But like, I just know how to read, but dyslexically, so I'll see the words backwards, but I'll still comprehend what the meaning is trying to say.
The meaning trying to is.
Wasn't it the whole like thing where it's like based on the context of previous words, if you can see the first and the last letter, it's very likely that your brain can actually fill in the gaps.
Yeah. But it's like,
I'm pretty sure there was like a whole study and stuff about that.
yeah, I still see the words wrong, and I still see the letters out of order sometimes, and I'll like read like to do as like today, or like the dog for some reason. But I from like the other previous
I didn't expect you to say that.
from other previous
That seems so out of
context,
left field.
I understand like, oh, we're talking about like, this is my to-do list today, and here are the groceries that I need to buy.
This is the dog list. I'm just gonna call it the dog list from now on.
So thanks for
What happened?
My dad just tried to call me, and I'm like, I'm recording a podcast right now. I always do this on Sunday at this time, from this time to this time at least. And he's like, "Wah! Answer your phone!" And I'm like, no.
Dad, I'm actually doing something productive. There's actually 20 people listening to this podcast. You gotta...
Actually,
Not
it's
live,
46 on the last episode.
Yeah.
Oh, hell
No,
yeah.
not
Oh hell yeah!
So we actually surpassed the one before it. The one before it didn't do very well. It's like 20 something.
See,
Wait, which episode was that? The one,
You're
Episode-
was that the one I wasn't on? Let's fucking go. in that case.
Maybe. Might have been, yeah. So they all show up for you.
Coincidence.
It's
I
really
get
the Wernissage podcast.
yeah.
I mean, I would.
I mean, basically, get out of here. Not actually, you can stay. It's okay.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
One day I will strike.
Somebody said something that made me think of something that I wanted to say, but then I don't remember what the thing they said was or what I wanted to say.
Somebody said something, and then I started thinking, and I don't remember what it was. But I'm thinking.
Thinking's hard.
Don't think too hard, honey. Don't hurt yourself.
28 views on number 8, the self-production grind, which
You weren't on, Noah.
I was on that.
No, you weren't.
This is the second to last episode, not the last one. Oh. What?
I thought self-production grind was the one that was Wern, Alyx.
Might be right.
Wait. No, the last
No,
one.
no,
was
no,
me.
no. Clock Talk, which is the most recent one.
Yeah.
How do you like
Oh,
that
yeah.
title? Talking about daylight savings and working late in the morning, and you guys like it?
Oh, you mean Clock Talk, the title?
Do you like it?
I like it. Good job.
Thank you.
Thank you. That was a fun one, honestly. I want to be. I wanna be
that's
the
the one
host
that-
more.
Yeah. That's the one that I'm not on, though. That's the first one that I'm not on, and there's 2 more episodes to come where I'm not on them. So
So I mean, you get the hint, listener.
Yep.
Noah's retiring.
1 more, not 2 more.
Yeah. Okay. By the way, should you do the intro?
Yeah, a whole 24 minutes later. You guys are recording your audio, right?
Hell yeah.
Yeah, I've been recording.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Cool.
Am I still doing the intro? Or are we changing the format?
Don't worry, Zacarra. We're veterans at this by now. We don't make it on time, but we're veterans.
That's right.
Exactly.
Do I still do the intro?
Yeah.
Or are we changing
Yeah.
the format?
No, I
No,
I say
we've
the
never
intro.
changed the
There's
format.
there's no episode
Just
without,
do
without an intro.
do the intro. Do it.
The intro? Hello and welcome. I am Noah of the channel TravellingHalo, and I am joined by my friends Alyx, Neo, Wernissage, and my girlfriend Zacarra. I don't know if I should. My friends, these people, and then I put you at the end of that. That seems weird. We're gonna have to
Or
work that
just
one out.
exclude me,
Brought
I don't
together
care.
by our shared love of Halo.
I'm not a real person.
I'm gonna try that again.
Through to me.
Brought together by our shared love of Halo. But do not let that fool you, for we will try, and likely fail, to talk about anything but Halo, because this is not a Halo podcast. You know, all that...
You
intro
know who
does-
else is not a Halo podcast?
This is not a
Okay, I'll
Halo.
stop.
Because it's also not a podcast, so...
It's not a podcast. Yeah,
True.
exactly. All that intro
Good
serves
show.
to do is to put our brains in the direction of Halo. That's all that does. Because if I don't intro, we're perfectly fine talking about anything other than Halo.
Yeah.
But as soon as I do that intro,
Let's talk
everyone's
about the Halo
brains
show.
start thinking about Halo. Yeah.
Yeah, but
I
that's,
just tune out when you do the intro, so that's not a problem for me.
that's the point.
Wow, I listen to every word.
Great. Thanks. That's why you delivered the intro so beautifully on the episode.
Yeah, that was just from.
I did love Fern's intro.
Yeah.
Me too.
I'm
Vern should always do
Wernissage
the
from the
intro.
channel Wernissage.
That was so funny.
It's true.
I fucking spit out my water when I was editing that.
Editing that.
I fucking died. I was like, I need to go lay down.
Wernissage from the channel.
I feel bad for your
Wernissage.
computer. Like, I wonder how much H2O has made it into the keyboard.
Too much. I have a little like computer like air compressed air duster that I just spray every time I like spit on the screen.
Nice.
But yeah, welcome to Not a Halo podcast. What are we talking about? That's not Halo.
You know, I was really
Or
peeved.
Halo.
I went on Instagram the other day and guess what advertisement I got? Well, you probably won't guess. Anyway, I got an advertisement for a podcast
I was gonna say.
and they fucking like stole our title. Kind of, not really.
What?
What?
But
What do you mean?
it was okay. So it's a podcast about Dungeons and Dragons, and the title is Not Another D&D Podcast. And I was like,
Oh no.
bullshit. When did they release
Excuse
their
me?
podcast? When
it's
did they
like-
start?
I don't know, like
I definitely don't think we were the first people to do that.
no, probably
for the
not.
record.
But I was just like,
Yeah. That. I mean, it's D&D. It's probably been around since the fucking 90s.
yeah.
It probably came on the first iPod, just had the premiere episode for that show.
No, I think it's a new podcast.
Interesting.
But it's technically not.
They
It's
stole
not
our-
the same.
Branding.
Yeah, it's not. It's not exactly the same wording, but it is the wording that my dad uses to talk about our podcast. He always says,
Not a podcast that's about Halo.
"No,
Kids into fucking video games.
my dad. I love
That
my
is
dad
literally
so
your
much."
father.
Who just tried to call me and now is trying to like have a text conversation with me, and I'm like, hello, I'm busy.
Get him on the
Epic.
podcast.
Nice to meet you. Hello.
God.
I'm Dad.
Thing.
That's what he says.
Yeah. Hi, podcast. I'm Dad. He always like our podcast title is not a Halo podcast, but he's just like he uses the dad phorism of like not
Dadphorism. I
dad
love
phorism.
it.
Yeah, like an aphorism, but like for fathers and dads.
I got it.
Dad phorism.
Thank you.
He says he calls it not another Halo podcast.
A
But
Dadpathem.
he goes, not another Halo podcast. Like with that iteration or that way of saying it. I'm like, why are you like this?
Shit, looks like we got a rebrand.
I was going to
It's
say
not
maybe our
another-
branding isn't as strong as it could be.
Listen, this is
Yeah,
what
I've
I
thought
went.
about
Take
it, like-
over.
I went to school for this.
It's
I
interesting
made
how
it. That was a Hawkeye
like,
reference, by the way, in case the audience, whatever.
Oh, I'm not a nerd.
Maybe it's a branding
Yes, I
thing.
am.
Yeah. I thought you were.
Uh,
You're not a nerd, but you're like your favorite superhero is fucking Spider-Man. Okay.
That's a normie thing. That's a normie.
That's pretty normie, actually.
That's pretty normie. Actually.
Yeah, I like Spider-Man. He's
but,
my favorite.
But I would.
Hawkeye
classify
being your
myself as a
favorite
nerd.
is pretty nerdy.
That's just weird.
It depends on which Hawkeye,
It's weird.
because there are technically two. There's Clint Barton, which
There's
is
technically two now.
no.
Kate Bishop's
There's
fan.
always technically, well, not always, but technically there's been two for many years. Just saying. Comic books go back.
What's the other one? Jeremy Renner.
What?
You got Jeremy Renner.
Jeremy
And,
Renner
forgot
as
him
Clint. Well, no. Clint Barton as Hawkeye, but then also the character Kate Bishop
Jeremy
as
Renner's
Hawkeye.
Clint Barton, you know. You gotta watch the Hawkeye show.
It's
And then
fucking
you'll
funny,
know.
dude. It's so fucking funny.
Yeah, I liked it. I think it was. I don't remember. I think that's the problem. I don't remember much from it. Wasn't as exciting as I thought it would be, but it was fun. They had a cute dog.
Yeah! Lucky the pizza dog!
That's what you'll remember. Yep.
Pizza dog.
Pizza
I love
dog.
the pizza dog.
With one eye.
Aww.
That was my favorite part. I saw the dog in the first episode, and I'm like, okay, I have to watch the rest of this show. I don't care how good or bad it is. I just have to watch the rest of this show for the fucking dog. And I ended up really liking it, so, win-win for me.
Yeah, that's basically the Halo TV series, but with Kai, the Spartan. I just watch it for her, basically. She's the only good part about the show right now.
You like her character?
Obviously. Don't you?
The one who put grease in her hair, right?
Yeah.
That's the one.
grease
Okay,
trap.
that's the one we're talking about, right? Cause
Yeah.
I could see a Spartan doing that.
Riz,
Yeah.
Danik. That's what it is.
Yeah. I like Kai and Miranda so far. They're like the... Well, Halsey's pretty good too, but I don't really like the other characters. So
Halsey is the reason I showed
feel
up
like-
for that show.
Yeah, Natasha and Halsey is like the best part, honestly. Also, yeah, fun name for, picking her as she was in Truman's Show. That's like a good kind of... I don't know if that actually influenced her casting for Halsey,
She was in
but I
the
like
Truman
that kind of
Show?
detail.
yeah, that's
Yeah,
the only
she's
thing I've
Sylvia
seen.
Garland. She's the woman that tells Truman, come to Fiji. Everything is fake. That'd be
That
good on a
was, like, the
t-shirt. Come
whole-
to Fiji. Everything is fake.
That was the whole, like, oh my
Oh.
god, turn to Jamaican, it's like gonna be healthy. Like, that was the whole...
Like, I kind of like the idea of, like, oh yeah, the woman, on, like, the whole fake world thing is the person responsible for, like, the Spartan program and all that. As like, that, if that was unintentional, that's a cool detail.
Yeah,
Also, I think she's just a good actor.
yeah, she's great.
She's
Yeah.
really good, and she did a great job investing in that role, I thought. She really does look like Jen Taylor. Like, she is totally just the
Yeah,
same, like,
that too.
basic
That's a good casting.
appearance.
As much as I
That's
don't
wild.
like that show for my own personal reasons, like, she's fantastic. She does a great job. Like, there's no denying that at all.
I thought she nailed it, really. and it has been interesting to watch her. Like, I just like this the sadistic kind of enjoyment she seems to get out of watching the Spartans be the Spartans, or watching her plans come to fruition, or she just gets this like kind of, it just creeps you out, you know. And
Yeah,
that's
I like
exactly
that.
I think what Halsey
You don't
should
really
be.
know like what's going on inside of her head.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But you can tell she gets some weird kind of cathartic enjoyment out of it.
It's always weird.
Yeah.
I think that's cool.
Yeah, it's always uncomfortable when you see a character like smile, but it doesn't quite reach their eyes, and you have no idea what the fuck they're thinking. So it's just like, what? Why? What is this? It's very uncomfortable, and it's fantastic.
Yeah. Yeah, and Natasha made I think she made some research, right, about like AIs and stuff, and a lot about Halsey as well, obviously.
Yeah, she said she
so
did a lot
you
of personal research.
Yeah, you can really tell like she went all in for it.
Yeah.
And again, the actor who plays Miranda did a great job too, I think. Actually making her into a proper character.
Yeah.
But we will see what happens with the show. I don't know.
I'm continuing to watch it. I actually did cancel my Paramount subscription, but I'm going to re-up it and get the no ads subscription, because the ads are ruining it. The ads come in at the worst pot. I mean, I'm paying for the $5 tier, which is like the some ads version, and they're everywhere.
Oh, that's the thing. Okay.
Oh, it's awful. So there's a $10 version where you have no ads. Definitely going to pay for that, because it's not helping anything. Yeah, but I have been keeping up with the show. I wasn't going to, but I watched it on my own time when Zacarra wasn't there screaming at the screen, and I started to find things that I actually was kind of into with it. So.
Yeah. So Zacarra, are you like the biggest hater of the show?
Yeah,
Yes.
So I can't turn my brain off when I watch things. So I'm just like always analyzing everything, and it's kind of a morbid way to like go through life and watch content and like consume media, but I just can't help it. Like, that's not how my brain works. And so it just like, I don't it makes me more angry and frustrated to watch the show than it is to just like sit and try and turn my brain off. Like, it's more work to try and turn my brain off than to just not watch the show. So I only watched the first episode, and I'm kind of good with that, honestly. It's really unfortunate.
After the first episode, I had a weird kind of uncanny valley moment where I felt like just unsettled and uncomfortable, because it felt like somebody took this thing that I loved and just moved it, and didn't I make
Yeah,
this?
I've only seen the first episode.
I think I made this analogy to you guys a few weeks ago.
Yep.
Right? About the parents divorcing. Okay. It was
Oh,
like
yeah.
that.
It got too real.
And I just had this icky feeling. Now, again, I came back later on, and frankly, I know what they're going for now. Rather than questioning what it is, now it's a question for me of, is it good? Like, what's the execution? You know, I'm no longer asking. They've been pretty clear about what it is. So, like in Zacarra's case, she knows what it is, and it's like, great. Now I know that I am not going to spend my time on it. Now, in my case, like, I accept what they're doing, and I want to see where they go with it. It's actually kind of like I was finding myself kind of enjoying it a lot. It's sort of like kind of a nice thing to put on and sort of cozy. You know, it's like, oh, cool. This is like a Halo that I don't have to worry about, like, oh, how does this connect or whatever, you know, like, but there's still some interesting, like, deep lore pulls, like really deep. There was like the fact that, for instance, the fact that they've given the Spartans fake memories that to make them believe that their families were wiped out by plagues on their home planet. That's not canon, but that's an idea drawn from canon, apparently. I would not have even gotten this reference if not for Halo Canon's video. But apparently Deja, the AI that trained the Spartans when they were small children, the dumb AI, she one of her suggestions to Halsey was to give them fake memories that would make them believe that their parents had died from plagues. And Halsey turned the idea down because she didn't want to lie to the Spartans. So it's almost like a Halo what if, like Marvel's what if, but it's like Halo's what if this show gets to be. It gets to play with some of the ideas that weren't explored before. So it's still
It's
drawing.
definitely
from the
much more
source material
sinister,
a
which
little
is
bit.
quite interesting to see.
That's true too.
Especially because, like, a lot of Halsey's arc which is funny because in the like actual main media, Halsey also just kind of ends up just doing whatever the fuck she wants when she wants. But a lot of the whole kind of like arc with her is that she regrets the whole Spartan program, and she spends a lot of the time after the Covenant have been, after the Covenant War has started, trying to like make up for that and save as much of humanity as she can while also protecting the Spartans. So it's really interesting how different this is in terms of her goals seem a lot more maybe like selfish at the detriment of the Spartans, as opposed to the books where she goes out of her way to do almost anything she can to protect as many Spartans as she can.
Yeah. I mean, in the book, she definitely doesn't go about it the right way, but yeah, I understand exactly.
No, like, she still does
Yeah.
the wrong things, but, like, she understands what she's done is wrong, and she tries to, like, make up for... Like, I'm thinking specifically, like, Ghosts of Onyx and that kind of thing.
No, I understand.
So it's real interesting to see how different it is in this case, and also how in the kind of, like, the Halo 5 onwards, she seems pretty, like, fragile, which... To be fair, is also because I'm pretty sure she's like 70. But then since the Halo show takes place in 2552, she's still also about 70 in that show as well.
Well, I mean, she's also...
Is she about 70, or do they change around people's like birth dates and stuff with the show?
Yeah, they
Or
do,
we
right?
even know?
Well, they might have changed that for the show. I have no fucking idea what the show
probably.
dates are like.
But, yeah. In
yeah.
the Halo core canon...
I'm pretty sure she's in her 40s when she meets John, like as a kid.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Sorry, carry on.
That actually.
Yeah. But like in Halo 5 and beyond, yeah, she's like 70 something, or like in her 70s, early 70s, I think. If I'm not mistaken, correct me if I'm wrong. But she's pretty much lost everyone that she's ever cared about and ever loved at that point. And she's just like, she also lost her arm, and she's also like,
Or simply cast them out.
not
Oh, well, I guess, yeah, by that point, Miranda had died. Got
Yeah.
it, right.
she's just like not important anymore, and she realizes that. And it's like, well, like, I mean, that really takes a toll on you as a human being, or I would assume, if you're just like, okay, well, there's no one here for you, and there's nothing here for you. What do you do with that? It's a really interesting, like, character
She's such an interesting character.
situation. Yeah.
I think Halsey's arguably the main character of Halo, the way that Anakin Skywalker is the main character of Star Wars.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah, like she started these.
She's the reason everything happens.
Yeah, she's Cortana and everything.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Holy shit, you cracked the code.
Yeah, like you could say, people would argue that Luke is the main character in Star Wars, but that's the same thing as arguing Cortana's the main character in Halo. It's like, no, it's really Halsey and like Anakin.
Yeah.
Even though the first movie, especially, and the first three are like Luke is the protagonist.
Right, exactly. But Luke is just an extension of Anakin, and Anakin's present still, like as Vader.
Sure.
During that time. And it's Luke's like the center of the movie, and he serves the role of the audience throughout those three movies.
Mm-hmm.
But as a window to get to telling the story of Anakin's redemption.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Just like Halsey, you never follow her perspective. You follow John's perspective, but John is just an offshoot of John and Cortana together are like a fused child of Halsey.
It's so gross. And it's so
It's the weirdest,
It's-
like creepy sort of
She gave birth to them.
like Oedipus complex story.
Yeah.
It's so good.
well, I mean, like not in the sense that she like gave birth to them, but like her scientific brainchild is those
She did,
those
though.
two. Yeah. I mean, not in a physical sense, but in like a
You know, Halo
not in
2,
Yeah.
the four main characters in Halo 2, which is John, Cortana, Johnson, and Miranda, they're all in some way
creations of
connected to Halsey.
Yeah.
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 I've
Wait,
never really
was-
thought of it that way.
Did she start the Spartan 1 program too? Or the Orion thing?
Not technically.
No, she
I
didn't have
believe she
anything to do with
picked up the
Orion,
research
so-
from
Yeah.
someone else.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, so there is that with Johnson. Yeah, that's
But
true.
she like
she didn't have a.
yeah.
I never thought of
But
that.
basically
that way, though.
she-
and she's
she-
never
she-
her name's never mentioned, and she's just
Yeah.
omniscient,
And she fucking squeezed out all of them.
like oranges.
Gotta give her the... Yeah. So there it is.
Gotta.
Closer to the mic.
Not an ASMR podcast.
No!
Please
Zacarra,
never do that
Zacarra,
again.
edit this out.
Actually, Discord cut
Yeah,
it out.
Discord
so
cut it
Zacarra
out.
is the only
Fuck.
one that's gonna get to hear that.
Fuck.
I mean, she'll get my audio file.
No, I'm just gonna delete.
You
this
should just
whole
put all of our
episode.
mouth sounds up at the front, and then I intro.
Yes.
Ew.
Yes.
Just a cacophony of mouth sounds. Everyone turns it
Stereo
off
spread.
instantly. It's our lowest viewer retention.
Oh, hell yeah.
Or it's our highest
sounds-
viewer attention.
Yeah, you never know.
And like bring up the volume whenever we're not talking and just breathing into our mic or something.
Yeah,
Oh,
instead of
yeah.
automating all of that down, you automate it up. Do
Right.
the opposite.
Dude, that gave me an idea. We gotta do the... Because we're posting the 10th episode like with video
Tomorrow.
right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. So we gotta do like an edit, where they only like, clip all the silences.
Oh, like a
Just make it fucking awkward.
yeah, like a supercut.
Just like
That's-
breathing sounds.
It's actually
yeah.
hilarious. Someone in the audience can put themselves attached to
bike
that.
into that.
Yeah.
Get on it. The true fan.
I don't know. I don't have enough time to do that. I wish I could.
Nah, you leave that to the audience. That's what they're there for.
Yeah. By the way, something I wanted to bring up with you guys. I think we need some spiciness to the podcast.
Ooh, okay.
So
I had plenty of
the-
cayenne pepper in my chili. I'm just saying.
Okay, yeah, that's what I was gonna say. So can you bring it? No, that wasn't actually it.
I was so confused.
What do I do? How do I act on the words you just uttered?
Yes. No, but the other
This is
day,
not a podcast.
the other day it was kind of confirmed, but not really, that there's gonna be a battle royale in Halo.
I did see that.
But we don't know what's gonna happen. But it was kind of confirmed. That's what I read, at least.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, so
I
that's
think it's a
quite,
good move.
It's quite a big deal. Yeah, by Certain Affinity, right?
Oh yeah, and Certain Affinity always does some usually pretty much the best, longest sustaining work when they work on Halo games, and so that is a
Yeah.
great thing to look forward to because I think they'll probably do a wonderful job, as they always
Yeah.
do.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's like, what's everyone's opinion on like battle royale and Halo doing like trends, and if that's always a bad thing, or like how
Well,
do you
I'll
guys
tell you
look
what,
at that?
Battle Royale's been around for at least 7 years. So it's
Yeah,
not
it's
so much of
barely
a
a trend.
trend anymore as people like to think that it is. It's been
Yeah.
around for a while now.
Yeah, it's more of like an expectation than it is a trend.
Yeah, it's like team deathmatch.
Yeah, also every like AAA game that's tried to do it has generally not been very successful since, I want to say, Warzone. The big three are Warzone, Apex, and
Yeah.
PUBG. And Fortnite.
Fortnite.
Oh, yeah.
Sorry.
I think the idea
Big
for
four.
Halo right
Those are like kind of the only four that are like actually kind of holding their ground and being successful, although I would argue that most people like fucking hate Warzone now, and they're waiting for it to kind of like reset, because it's too
Yeah,
it's too like oversaturated with shit now. Trying to like blend three games.
The thing is, I kind of like it because right now nothing is actually broken like it usually is, but it is kind of.
Is it really?
The game did run.
In some ways.
I uninstalled the game because the Pacific map runs like complete dog shit.
Yeah, I don't
Right.
I don't play the large map because they replaced the Verdansk map with like a fucking boring map. Like it's so boring. It's just like a forest. Like
Yeah,
like
it
a jungle.
sucks. It really
it's just
sucks.
open.
And also, because I'm
yeah.
playing on minimum settings, I literally have like PS1 trees, and it's really distracting.
Oh yeah. No, I just play on the small map. Like that's actually a good map.
Wait.
That's actually fun.
So
Oh,
hold
yeah,
on.
yeah.
I have not played this game since I had said previously, like a week after it came out, and I finished the campaign.
So it's the same kind of thing as like Fortnite. Every season, the actual map changes.
So they're scrapping. They're
In Warzone.
scrapping
With the
two
whole thing
maps,
being that-
and then they're at. So they still only have like 2 maps.
Starting
Also-
over.
Well,
no, it's
okay,
scrap
so
one
they're
map.
actually still in the game files, but like, there's no way to play them. Because season 2 was the Cold War season, right? So it had like whatever the one was for Cold. I didn't play Warzone during season 2.
Yeah, it's Rebirth Island. They added Rebirth Island with the Cold War integration, and then they actually updated the Verdansk map with like a 1980s theme.
Needless to
Oh,
say,
fuck! I wish I
Can
played
this
that.
be?
needless to say, it's
but yeah.
not a very,
Could this be the
it's not a
thumbnail?
very
It's a shit show.
sustainable content delivery method. You know.
Well, it also like it's kind of an issue like with the sandbox as well. Like you have two 1911s because Modern Warfare had one and Cold War also had
No, we had
one.
3.
Or you have like 2 of an SMG because Cold War had one, but then Vanguard also has the same SMG. But then the 2 games, different versions coexist, and they also have different stats, different attachments, and different progression.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Instead of being unified.
It's always fun
I feel
when I play with my friends who don't like play as much, and they're like, which weapon should I play with? I'm like, yeah, go with the MP5. Like, okay. No, not that MP5.
Which one?
The other
Yeah.
MP5. I'm like,
Like
can
I-
you add this attachment? Like, the attachment isn't there. Oh, it's the wrong MP5.
Like Warzone being like it's part of Modern Warfare was like fine when it was still only with Modern Warfare, but I feel like this further proves that Warzone should just be its own standalone like Call of Duty title that is
100%.
completely independent. Like even though it like, you know, features content from the other Call of Duty games, obviously, it should be like an independent like executable and just totally its own separate thing. I actually think Zombies should be the same. And then they could literally just have one Call of Duty Zombies and then just have like yearly
Holy shit.
Zombies
Yep.
passes.
You're fucking
Boom.
genius. I fucking hate
Yeah.
zombies, though, but you're a genius.
Yeah.
I don't really like zombies either, but I'm just saying like that just seems like a much more successful content method to do that. And then you just make it, oh yeah, you buy this game and it also gives you the DLC license for that
wouldn't
I
year's
only
pass.
like.
So, you know, you'd buy 2023's campaign and you'd get the 2023 zombies content
Yeah.
like with it.
Speaking of zombies, Flood Firefight in MCC.
Oh, the segue.
What were you going to say,
I
Zacarra?
said the only way I like Call of Duty Zombies is when I watch Achievement Hunter play it, and they do it absolutely the not right way, and it's fucking hilarious.
It's not my kind of mode, but like it's
Yeah.
it's a cool idea.
Yeah,
It's just
yeah.
not my thing.
Yeah, I mean,
But yeah, like Warzone and actually no, I think they're doing that with Warzone, aren't they? With Modern Warfare 2 and Warzone, they're going to be 2 different titles.
Yeah, something like that.
yeah, most likely. No, the superior mode to zombies is obviously Call of Duty Ghosts Extinction.
I liked Extinction.
Yeah, you played it.
People,
Thank God.
people
Someone
hate
else
on it
played
too much.
Explain
Yeah,
it.
I liked it. It's just zombies, but
it's
aliens.
literally zombies, but instead of like basically it's zombies, but instead of zombies, it's like alien Komodo dragons.
Yeah, and like they come from underground or something like
That's
that. if I
actually
remember
that's a
correctly.
great
Yeah.
way. That's a great way to explain that. Thank you, Dio. That is going to live in my brain rent free from now on.
Actually, that's not a great. I just remember there are actually multiple species of aliens in Extinction mode. I think because I'm pretty sure there are some that have ranged attacks as well. But like, it's generally just aliens from underground
I mean, the thing
that
is,
you fight
I
against,
kind of
and
like
you have like a drill,
I like
and you're
their
like
designs.
defending it while it drills or something.
their designs are
So-
kind of badass.
They're interesting. They're cool. Ghosts kind of like the whole fucking game looks a little like gray, but I think
Yeah.
it still looks interesting. They did some cool stuff. With it.
It's
It's like Halo 2.
and it's like a constant, what was it called, vignette, where it's like dark in the corners. I fucking hate
Not a
that.
fan of that.
It's so like,
Yep.
yeah.
I hate vignettes. I hate vignettes in games.
Yeah,
Fucking hate them.
Yeah, they don't belong.
Sometimes they do that for like horror games,
but yeah.
just to make it feel more claustrophobic, and I think that's in good
Yeah,
taste.
yeah, that makes sense. But I fucking hate when Call of Duty does it, like the most
Yeah.
basic shooter ever.
Yeah.
Like, no.
Yeah.
Or like Halo 5 did
Truly.
it kind of with like the visor outline.
The helmet,
of the screen. Yeah.
Which
Oh,
many
yeah.
people really hated.
They didn't know why
thing is, I
either.
I
never-
thought the FOV was so low too.
Well, I'm glad they did the thing where like the actual helmet interior was only for campaign, but then in multiplayer they didn't have it, which is
Yeah.
funny because I know the reason they did that is because they didn't want to design a different one for
Yeah.
every helmet, but also
Oh, yeah.
I would have chosen to have it off in multiplayer anyway, given
Yeah.
the choice.
What were you saying,
Yeah.
Alex?
I was just mentioning FOV in Halo 5.
Oh yeah.
Hate it. Hate it. Hate it. Hate it.
I so wish that game was on PC.
Yeah, me too.
Full PC.
Technically,
settings
Infinite's
and-
default FOV is the same, I think. It's just that you
Yeah.
can turn it up now.
But yeah, exactly. In
I-
Infinite, you can
I
turn
was
it up
never
on
really
every
bothered
platform.
by Halo 5's FOV, but Halo 3 FOVs. The Halo 3's FOV.
I think Halo 3 is like
it's awful.
70 degrees or something.
Oh, it's off.
It's
I
like-
think,
It's
78.
yeah, it's 70 in widescreen and
70 in widescreen?
68 in
Good lord.
4 by
That's
3.
one of the reasons why I
Oh
don't
my
like
goodness.
Halo.
And in
3.
and Halo Reach it's 78 and it's been 78 since Halo Reach, I'm pretty
Yes.
sure.
Right.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, Halo 3 is just
It's still that's too tight for me still.
is a tunnel.
What are you going to say about Halo 3?
Oh, I don't
Say it to my face.
I don't like Halo 3 because of that. It just like
How dare you.
I love really wide fields of view because I am so used to seeing
Same.
like at least 180 degrees in real life. And so when I can only see like a tunnel, I'm playing like it feels like I'm playing VR, but I like can't see the sides and it's like really claustrophobic and it kind of makes me motion sick and it also feels like you're only moving like -5 miles an hour.
Well, the other real big thing on it as well is like your distance from the screen. If you're playing up really close to something in front of your face, like a computer monitor, it's really bad to have
Yeah.
a low FOV. But like the whole low FOV thing, especially with like the early Call of Duty games, was more designed for living
Yeah.
room TVs and you like sitting
Well,
back
but
on a
even-
couch, and where it's much more like you're looking through a smaller
Yeah.
window
Yeah.
than.
It would look
thing,
awkward if
but
you,
high
if you had
FOVs
a
is so
higher
much better.
FOV that way.
I mean, I
'Cause
guess.
it would be this strange.
Well, if you have a high FOV and you sit far away, you just can't fucking see anything.
yeah, because everything's small.
'Cause it's too
And
small.
that's the
Yeah.
other consideration is how to pack the screen enough.
So it's supposed to be like relative to how close you are. It's like the whole point with the FOV is that the closer you, it's like the screen is a window, and the closer you are to that screen, the more you can see
Right.
in it, and the FOV is supposed to
Right.
reflect that.
Well, and so consequently, naturally, there when it changes platform, and the format changes,
Yep.
so do the settings. They need to change as well, which is basically what they did with MCC. Now you can turn the FOV up because your face is right next to your monitor on Halo 3.
Yep.
Yeah, I
What's
played
that?
360 Reach on my on 360 Halo 3 on like my CRT TV, which is 4x3 on Xbox 360, and I didn't really realize how fucking horrid it is until I've since played it with a high FOV on
Yeah.
MCC. So I'm really glad they added that.
Yeah, MCC
Oh,
like
yeah.
has I can go back and play like the old Halo games on their respective consoles because MCC just kind of like I can change the fucking view models now.
Yeah.
Like I can do everything on MCC. So yeah, MCC is like the best fucking thing ever. I played a bunch of MCC yesterday and today, just custom games.
Yeah.
Because now all of the games are actually available.
All
there.
of the games are now in the customs browser. I gotta hop on and do that. I
Yeah,
haven't had any
dude,
time
it's
to
so
play,
much fun.
so-
Like playing a Halo 2 anniversary custom games like Battle
Oh.
Royale or something.
Yeah.
Stuff
I
like
haven't
that.
have had
Just,
no time to play any games. I don't know. I've just been so busy for the last 2-3 weeks or more. I mean, I just haven't had video game time. I haven't been able to sit on my computer at home. Like I've been out every single night, right up until I got COVID, and then it's like now I've gotten to be home for 5 days straight.
That's the lesson.
It's funny that you
Careful
mentioned
what
like
you wish for.
you're playing MCC more because I think it was it BBK Dragoon or someone on YouTube posted like the analytics of Halo Infinite and MCC on like player.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and MCC has now surpassed Halo Infinite. They were like neck and neck for a
Yep.
while, and now it's just like there's a clear separation.
Straight up.
Yeah.
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 So,
Straight
I mean,
up
it's
past
kind
it.
of like a win for Halo, but not really. It's just kind of cancels out.
Yeah, it's a little
don't-
awkward. It doesn't. The optics aren't good.
Yeah, it's awkward.
I don't know if you could.
The optics are just not good.
I don't know if you could say that that's a win more so than saying that it's a save on their part.
Yeah, it's more of a save.
It's
Yeah.
a save
Oh,
for
yeah.
sure.
Kind of.
Well, the other thing is, even though that's like a drop of a lot of players, arguably Steam isn't the main platform. You also have to bear in mind that the Windows Store also exists,
Yeah.
and then on top of that, there's also Xbox, and neither of those are counted into the Steam
Yeah.
player numbers, obviously.
Okay.
And especially because it's crossplay, you know, it could simply be that kind of complicates things because it could simply be a case of, oh, I don't know, maybe 500 people had it on Steam, but now they just play it on Xbox or Windows Store
Yeah.
instead. So technically, they haven't stopped playing the game; they just stopped playing the Steam version and went to a different version.
Yeah, that's true. Although I haven't really like seen anyone talk about Halo Infinite for a hot second.
Oh no, it's fucking dropped off. Yeah. No, I was being
Yeah.
hypothetical, but that's definitely what happened as
I
people stopped
appreciate
playing.
your glass half full mentality.
You tried.
Yeah.
Microsoft, please hire me.
I can.
Dude.
I can.
But yeah.
Imagine being like the community, what's it called? Community manager.
If you.
Oh, geez.
Well, hey, they fucking need one because Postum's got promoted. I feel like after his Ukraine tweet, but
Yeah, right.
yeah.
They're like, you know what?
That's-
How
that's what
about
I'm
we
thinking.
just slyly pull you out of that role? That's not.
have a
you clearly can't
vacation
handle
on
that.
us. No, really, I mean it. Take a vacation. Get the
Yeah.
fuck out.
He got promoted to do what?
Get the fuck out of there.
It didn't say. Didn't
Oh.
say. He just got promoted.
Fucking move to Zeta Halo. Live out the rest of his days.
Dude, he got moved to fucking Guantanamo Bay, just like Microsoft Edition. That's what happened. We're never gonna hear from him again. Although, honestly, like, consider, like, community manager must be such a shitty position. I don't envy him, and honestly, I'm just like, good for you. You probably got a pay rise out of it, and you don't have to do that anymore,
Yeah,
so
that's a win.
win-win.
It kind of annoys
Yeah.
me though. It's like, wow, you're just gonna bitch on social media while doing your job, and then you get promoted by getting paid more money, and then not having to do that.
You get promoted because you suck
Yeah,
at your
like, what
job.
the fuck is
basically.
that?
Yeah, that's kind of weird inbreeding stuff. It's yeah.
Dude, Microsoft works in mysterious ways. I don't know. I just
Yep.
cut it.
It is pretty. It is a pretty strange situation. You know, I definitely was put off by that.
I don't know.
We've talked about that before, though. We don't have to double down on it.
Yeah.
I only work in media production. I don't know. I don't know, man.
I didn't say bad ways. I just said
No,
mysterious
like
ways.
I have no idea. I have not. I only go to production studios.
You don't have to recover. It's okay. We
Cool.
we can just go to the
Yep.
next topic.
Cool. Awesome.
You're twisting yourself into a knot
go.
here.
Just go.
What did you say you wanted to bring to the table, honey?
What? Oh! So, I was at dinner with my parents yesterday, and we were talking about tipping. And they were just in Mexico for my dad's spring break because he's a teacher, so he gets spring break. And they were saying, like, you know, tipping is so very different in different parts of the world. So it was just like, tipping's a huge thing in America. Like, if you don't tip in the U.S., you're seen as like a sleazebag, kind of, and like people disrespect you for it. But if you like tip in Korea, it's like you're seen as, if you do tip in Korea, you're seen as a douchebag because it's like, oh, was the service not good enough? You feel bad that you have to like give me more money or whatever. So I was just like wondering what it was like for you, Vern, and
Or like saying, not only can I pay for this bill, but I can give you 20% more
Yeah.
money. Here's even more money for nothing.
I have an issue with that. But,
You don't have an
it's
issue with
definitely,
tipping?
it's definitely different. It's not really part of our culture here. And like tipping here is more of a "I'll keep the change" kind of thing. It's not really expected, and it's not. When you guys pay with like FPOS machines or credit card machines, don't they like have built-in like tipping calculations in some cases? Because it's not automatically part of a bill or anything here. It's
yeah.
completely
They
like you
give
have
you-
to opt into tipping.
They give you tip suggestions for 18, 20, 25%, whatever. You know, like they show that at the bottom of the receipt. You can, so you don't have to do the math. You can just write it in, and yeah.
Trying to squander.
It's-
Yeah, mind our minimum wage and our living wage are pretty. They're only like $2 apart here, and our minimum wage is not high enough, but arguably like a lot higher than it probably is in the States. So that probably makes a big difference too. Since isn't the minimum wage like 5 something in Florida
Yeah.
or something?
It's like $5.49.
No,
That's kind of
Florida.
fucked.
the basic minimum wage and federal minimum wage is like
$7.25.
I know the federal minimum wage is higher, so like by technicality, they actually cannot pay you the Florida minimum wage. But I'm pretty sure the Florida, like it was something I was listening
Really?
to a couple of days ago.
You know more than I do. That's crazy.
Don't forget about the surface loophole
Yeah,
too.
they-
That's
have
the
to.
extent of my knowledge of America. They pay you $5.
Yeah.
Oh God.
That's
I
hold on.
didn't know that. That's awful.
153. That's 3 Costco hot dogs.
Yep. Yeah, for real.
That's like 4 Big Macs.
I'm assuming they're $1.50
Yeah,
in the
yeah.
States because I know they're £1.50 in the UK, and I would assume that they like keep that.
Yeah. I think they just
Wow.
raised the price though, if I'm not mistaken.
What's the minimum wage in Virginia?
Wow, I guess the CEO's gonna fucking kill them.
$7.25 an hour.
$7.25 is the minimum
Oh.
wage.
Yep.
Our minimum wage is 15.
No. You're
It's twice as much.
in Washington or in Seattle?
Good for you.
Because there's a difference.
Well, yeah, in Pierce County, which is where I live.
because the Washington minimum wage is $12.50.
True.
$13.50 as of like 2 years ago.
It's 15 in Pierce County and King County, where Seattle is. I think King County is going to go up from there.
Our minimum is $21.20, but that is $14.50 US dollars.
Okay. So it's about
Yeah. It like in the grand scheme of like the economy, it's actually probably about the same as the better
Yeah.
parts of the states. But that's still, that's still probably very likely struggling to get by, especially with rent prices, because median rent here is $1,000 a week or more.
What is that in US dollars?
That's about what ours is,
Yeah.
actually. Our median rent is what was it?
$2,500 a month.
Zacarra and I can't find an apartment for
Hold on.
less than $1,500.
That's about like $700 a week,
Yeah.
That sounds about right.
Yeah.
US dollars.
Yeah, that's about right.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
pretty fucked.
Well, and so like in Seattle, if you wanna like rent in the city proper, and you want a place that's not like 20 square feet in total, it's upwards to like $4,000 a month. And like some of the really nice places, like if you want an actual place that you're gonna live and have a nice time, it's like $5,000, $6,000 a month, and
Wait, what?
yeah, for like 1,000 square
My
feet.
brain just start.
For 1,000,
It's
That's like $12.50 a week. It's fucking
an
hell.
apartment in Sweden can be like fucking 5,000 kronas, which is just a tenth of that.
yeah,
I think the worst thing
Wait,
about
what?
housing right now
fuck?
is, have you seen...
I thought you meant 500, but you mean 5,000.
5,000.
Have you guys seen like
Okay.
Yeah.
these kinds of buildings? Like they're made of wood and like all
Yep.
modern design and stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah.
So it's just supposed to be cheaply
Interesting.
built, but once they're done
Yeah.
and then moved on to being
Location.
owned by like the company or whatever,
It's all location.
they
Yeah.
rise to like what, 3,000 a month or something.
yeah. Well, that's
So
like
like they're
that's
cheaply
like
That's
built
pretty fucked.
and
Seattle.
then
Jesus.
they're like super expensive. Yeah.
Yeah,
It
and then
sucks.
Oh yeah, They're terrible.
And then, you know, they're like, oh, well, Seattle
System does
minimum
not
wage, if you live in, like, King County or, like, in Seattle proper, like, the minimum wage is $15 an hour for, like, everyone. But it's like, okay, but if you're charging a minimum of $3,000 a month, and you're only getting $15 an hour, and you work...
They're, like, not proportionate, but you're acting like they are.
And you work 40 hours a week, you're gonna have, like, $200 left to, like, live.
Yeah.
It says here that the median rent in Pierce County, which is just south of King County where Seattle is $1,300 a month. That's the median. Which, like in New Zealand dollars, apparently that is almost $2,000 in New Zealand dollars.
I'm just like me living off 150 a week, which is about $100 US. Epic. But yeah, it's pretty fucked. And I guess some of the solutions with housing would be, you know, you could have some, you know, people fucking find loopholes around it anyway, but you'd have some system in place, like, well, the cost of the house has to be, like, primarily influenced by and proportionate to the materials of the structure or the actual money invested in upkeeping the building and, like, that kind of thing. But then also, if you did it that way, people wouldn't be able to do up houses and sell them for massive profits, which is, like, where most of that comes from.
Those people would never let that happen.
Yeah, that wouldn't happen.
I work with a guy who was getting ready to buy a house a year and a half ago, and he was all ready to do it. He talked to the people, and one day just before closing the sale, his real estate agent called him. He's like, "I'm so sorry, man. Somebody came in and picked it up for cash from under you. They offered cash just over what he was gonna pay, and we're able to get it out from under him. And 1 week later, they relisted it for like 50% more than what they bought it for." And that right there
it's
is
so
how this
fucked
has
that
happened.
like modern Western society has adorned such a capitalist structure that even in the interest of literally bettering it for people, we can't change any one thing because the whole fucking system falls apart.
Yep.
It's pretty balked.
So what's tipping like in Sweden?
It's funny because no, it's interesting because I literally never go to a restaurant. Like, I never go to a restaurant and, you know, get someone brings me to a restaurant if I go to a restaurant, because I just go for a falafel if I want something. I never, yeah, I don't know. But you know, when I get some pizza, it's not like I give any tips when I get pizza. Like, that's not really a thing. Like, you pay for the pizza and then you're done. But when you're at a restaurant, like a fine restaurant, like, yeah, you tip a certain percent, but I don't even know what percentage that is, because I'm not really used to that. But it's interesting you bring up like minimum wage and stuff, because I've never heard of that. And when I look it up, yeah, it makes sense, because people say there is no minimum wage as such. Swedish wages would depend on what union organizes your workplace and their deals with their employer, something like that. Like, it depends on the union and like the type of work. I don't know.
Wow, that's interesting. So the government doesn't dictate a minimum
that
wage.
makes so much sense.
No, exactly. There's like different for different. I know, like, the like, I don't know if it's a thing in the U.S.
Yeah, that's called being on the left side of the political spectrum.
Yeah,
the idea
exactly.
of everyone controls their own.
Yeah.
circle.
No, it's
it's funny because our like when you guys talk about left, that's more like center politics for Sweden, which is always like confusing when you watch like American stuff on TV.
So
like
here's
politics.
Well, now we're gonna talk about politics. We're really gonna get canceled now.
Hell yeah.
Oh,
I mean,
all right.
No, it really. If you look at a graph of the different like political ideologies, like workers' unions are in the middle, pretty much. You know, like what you're talking about. Like, it should be in the middle, but the U.S. is so
basic fucking human rights
in proportion to everyone else in the world that our political left is everyone else's center. and our political
Yeah,
center
yeah.
is everyone else's very far right, and it's weird. Like our president.
Not to mention our right. Not to mention our right wing.
God. Our president right now, Joe Biden, is like seen as like a really left-standing guy. He's like, ooh, super liberal, whatever, blah, 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 equal rights for everyone. He's like the fucking center of the spectrum. Like, he's not even that far left. He's like a little bit farther right than.
Actually, he's actually pretty. He's actually quite far in the conservative direction, particularly economically.
Yeah.
He's actually kind of regarded as conservative.
Yes.
Even though he goes with the Democrat Party.
That's big woof.
That's woof.
Woof. Woof.
Yeah.
What is it? I don't remember from Office.
I don't remember either.
Woof.com.
God, that's a good show, though.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah. Ryan's thing.
Yeah. I mean, here's another hot take for me. Like, I feel like if you're not using the like 4-quadrant graph of like political ideologies, then you're using a circle. And there's a neutral spectrum, like there's a neutral bottom, and there's an extreme top. And it doesn't matter if you go left or right, but if you're neutral, you're neutral. If you're extreme, you're extreme. And at some point, both political ideologies meet in some capacity. And I don't think a lot of people realize that.
Yeah, you come around the other side of the
Yeah.
circle and you wind up wrapping back around to this basically the same way of thinking.
Yeah. And I feel like that's where
exactly right.
that's where most of our issues stem from, is like not understanding the cyclical aspect of politics.
Yeah, it's interesting you bring that up with like extremists and stuff, because that's knowing me, I'm not really an extreme person.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I'm kind of safe.
What?
What?
What do you
I have
mean?
I have a white t-shirt and like a black fucking shirt. Like I'm a fucking normie. No, but I just find it so depressing, like how people, like when you talk to someone who's like either I hate the left or I hate the right, because there's more extreme people on that side. When it's always like, no, there's just extreme people on both sides, messing it up for both sides.
Yeah.
Like obviously you're not sick for thinking something politics wise most of the time. But you know, people always like, oh, it's like obviously if you're right leaning, you're probably gonna notice most of the left extremists, because they're you're gonna react to that a lot more, and vice versa. So like obviously you're gonna demonize the other side, and I just find it so depressing. Like a lot of people just think that way, like, oh, the left is all extremists, or the right are extremists, when it's just like I don't care like which one has more. Like both of them have extreme sides.
Yeah. All of y'all are
and both
extreme.
of them have some rational sides.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's my hot take. It's not really a hot take. It's just the truth.
Yeah. Yeah. No, seriously.
How's your tea, Neo?
It's good. It's nice, thanks. Bev check.
Bev
What
check.
kind of tea?
Yeah. Water.
Just regular tea. As far as I know, I don't really drink tea that much. It's just quicker than red hot chocolate. And I don't want to drink coffee
English
because I'm
breakfast?
going to go to bed after
Yeah.
this.
I got water. Well, I don't anymore. It's empty. On that note, we should probably get on with our
Yeah,
days.
yeah.
Let Neo go to bed. Let Fern go to bed. We'll go on with our afternoons in the U.S.
Yeah, it's already 4 p.m. here.
Oh God. Yeah.
Yeah, it's 1.
Thanks for listening. This has been Not a Podcast. Our podcast is now available on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and Google Podcasts. We're a real podcast now.
Yay, us.
Wow.
We're really doing it.
Okay. Goodbye.
Yeah.
Why?
Thanks, everyone. Goodbye.
Epic. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4.